Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we are still waiting for a few more students. Can we wait 2 more minutes so that the others are here?
Sure.
Okay, everyone, let's start. We have a good number of your classmates already here. Yeah, good morning. Aside from, can you open your camera, please? It's very difficult to talk to a blank screen. Okay, thank you so much, Lucas, Davide, Mirko. Okay, Andrea, hello. Thank you. Federico, if you can, Please open your cam. Okay, just a little changes in our schedule before we start. I know that last time we had a writing break, and our next class will be on Thursday, correct, in our schedule? We have 20
On Wednesday.
on Wednesday, and then we have 23, which is a Thursday. This, I have to reschedule this one because I have a conference that I cannot move. So is it all right if we move the 20, we don't have a class on the 23rd, but I move it on what day is preferable for you to move it after the 27? Can we do the 29th, which is a Wednesday? Can you please check your calendar if you don't have any?
The 29th is very busy because we have marketing class and we have an exam in finance.
Okay, so 29, that's all right. We cannot do that. What about the 30th on a Thursday?
Yeah, the 30th
If
should work. We have just class from 5 to 8, so the morning should be
In the
fine.
morning.
We take the
Okay,
same.
so we can do Thursday. Okay, Lucas, is good. Davide, is it good for you? Okay. Andrea, no problem at all. 30th, 10 to 1. 30th of November, Thursday.
Okay, no problem.
Federico also, Luigi and Enrico, can we
Yeah.
do?
It's good.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, as long as it's in the morning, we're all good.
Okay, perfect. So anyway, the last two sessions that we have will be for the presentation of your thesis. We will have like a mock viva voce defense. I will immediately after this class, I will upload a sample of a recorded viva voce defense. So this is how viva voce is done when it is online. So in your case, it will be done most probably face-to-face or live. But at least the idea is this is how it is done, to give you an idea that either face-to-face or either online, this is how you're going to do your viva voce. So that the last two sessions, we will try to, prepare for prepare you for the viva voce, and then the last session will be like a mock viva voce. A mock viva voce is like a trial viva voce defense. Okay, so we move our class from the 23rd of November to the 30th. So the 30th would be our last class. Let me take note of that. 10 o'clock to 12:40. This is instead of November 23, Thursday. Okay. Okay, thank you for accommodating that, because it's really, I have a conference that I cannot set because I'm one of the panel members for it's for the government of Barcelona here in Barcelona. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Before we start the class, okay, Tomaso is here. There you go, admitted. Let me share my screen.
Excuse me, I just would like to let you know I'm currently trying to log in to Zoom on my laptop. So when I do, I'll try and join the meeting from there, just so it's easier to see.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, it's the same for me because I don't have the connection in my laptop and I'm joining with my iPhone because it's not working.
Okay. The only thing is that if I ask you a question, because you know how my class is, it's very interactive, you have to be able to answer the question. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no
perfect.
worries.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is our 5th session. So which means we only have 3 sessions left, because this is an 8 session class. Okay, so before we start, we have 2 parts of this lesson. First is the update of your writing, and then the lessons and exercises that we have in the class. So I know that we didn't have the class last time because it's a writing time for you. So before sorry about that. Sambaya is here, so we are only missing Pia. Okay, so from the writing exercise that we had last time, I want the first part to be like a consultation for everyone. This is the best time for you to consult me because your submission is on Wednesday. So I know that you are in the process of writing, and I know exactly that you have some questions in between. There are things that are not very clear. You need clarification. So let's start the class with a consultation first part. Okay, so the questions that you need to answer is, where are you in your writing right now? Where are you, meaning do you have a blockage in some parts? What did you discover during the writing phase? I mean, you think that, the rationale is difficult, or finding out who your team members, if you're writing a business plan, is. What are the challenges that you face, and what clarifications you have now? So let's make it as a consultation, the first part. Anyone who would like to ask the first question? Federico, I've already submitted my business plan. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so Federico, since you are done with your business plan, what challenges have you faced, and what did you discover in the writing phase? Federico, are you here? Federico?
He has a problem with the microphone. He's using the chat for response.
Okay, so can you answer this question in the chat? Okay, so Federico, answer the question in the chat, and then I will read your answer later on. Okay, so Luigi, where are you in the writing?
I think I'm a bit more than halfway.
Okay.
I have to
Luigi,
finish.
remind me again, you're writing, are you doing a business plan or a theoretical thesis?
Business plan.
A business plan. Okay. So, Luigi, you are halfway through. What are the challenges that you face?
I found very difficult to find the problem to solve because there are a lot of things to adjust and not only one single one. So I have to go a bit straight on that and leave some things behind.
Okay. Okay. So, just like what I always say, you are only expected to solve one problem at a time. You cannot solve a lot because, you are doing your bachelor's and you are bound by time. So only focus on one problem and then mention the others, the others that are connected to the problem, but try not to solve them all at once. In your business plan, you can say, I am focused on this problem right now, but later on I will deal with the other problem attached to it. So for the purposes of graduating and finishing on time, I am only focusing on one problem. Okay, so you think you are going to beat the deadline? You will submit it on or before the deadline?
Excuse me?
Do you think you can submit your work on or before the deadline?
Yeah, I think I can on or before.
Okay. Okay, so everything is good.
Yeah, I already submit two-thirds of the work,
Okay.
and I just have to finish to review last point.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Luigi is good. What about Sambaye? Sambaye, this is the fifth class. I haven't seen your face. You haven't resolved still the problem of your laptop?
Miss, I have to buy a new laptop. That's the problem because my laptop is actually gone now.
Yeah, but how are you attending the other classes? It's the same.
Yes, it is. It is the same laptop.
Have we met when I was in Milan?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember you. Okay, so
Mhm.
answer the question. Update us on your writing.
For the writing of the thesis, I think I'm halfway through, like the same as Luigi.
Okay.
And the challenges I'm actually finding right now is, let's say, the structure of my thesis having to do with the data that I find. I don't know if you really understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, can you say that again?
The structure I have to go with the thesis.
You are doing
Because
a theoretical thesis, no?
yes,
Okay, so what's your concern about the structure?
the structure is having to do with the data that I have.
Mm.
Which information do I have to put on first and which next? So that's what I mean
Okay.
with the structure.
Okay, so your challenge is that you have a few data and you don't know where to put them. It's you are confused, either you put them in the rationale or you put them in the...
Exactly.
Okay, so remember when I define all the parts of the theoretical thesis, like what is, remember you have background and then you have the introduction. Can you remember those who are doing theoretical thesis, Lucas and Federico, and Sampaye, can you remind me what do you have to write in the introduction? Because you know, chapter 1 is background of the study. The first under that is the introduction. So in the introduction, I said this so many times before. What is the information that you need to put in there?
It is
So if I remember well,
Can you,
the information that I need to put on the
Sambaye, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, did you I thought you asked me a question.
Yes, I am asking a question. In the introduction, what information do you need to put there?
The information I need to put in the introduction is, let's say, the background of the thesis that I have chose.
Okay. But that's very broad. Specifically, what do you need to put there? Lucas.
Why I have this desire of writing about it. So it's kind of like a personal statement in which I'm describing the whole topic.
Okay, so very specifically, Sambaye, in the background, you have to say what's your personal and professional motivation that inspires you to do that specific topic. Because my question would be, okay, if you are interested in real estate, why are you interested in real estate and not in hospitality? Or not in the other areas of real estate, for example. So you have to establish in the background what's your professional and personal motivation why you are embarking on that particular topic, on that particular research. In the rationale, Lucas, what do you put in there?
This is what I when I was hearing Sambaye, he said as well that in the next steps, like the first step is clear to me, and I'm in the next steps where I gathered information that I was reading through articles, and there I kind of have like, I don't have a problem with statement of the problem, objective chapter, but I kind of have a problem with rational and like definition of concepts because I already don't exactly know if the title that I have selected is like, I don't know if I'm have already centered the concepts that I want to talk about later. So this is what I'm still struggling a bit, but I think this is something that will change eventually in the research. Like,
Okay. So you
Yes, I don't
said
know if
you
I
have,
understood, but is the rationale part the part where I have to explain in some way why my thesis statement is something original, or is it something else?
yeah, okay. So oof, we are going back to the first class, okay? So the rationale is where you answer the research gap. The research gap, meaning if let's say there are 5 areas to study in, what is your topic again, Sambaye? It's about
It's about the it's about high power distance in Senegal and how it affects businesses there.
high power distance. Did you get this concept of high power distance from Hofstede cultural dimensions model?
No, I got it from last year's class.
Yeah,
It was
because you know the power distance is a cultural
mhm,
concept by an author called
yes.
Hofstede. So high power distance, you are doing a thesis, the theoretical thesis. So if this is part of your title, Sambaye, your
Okay.
theoretical background has to mention the cultural dimensions model by Hofstede. It is unforgivable if these words are in the title and then you will not use the theory of Hofstede. Because remember, in theoretical thesis, there is a chapter for theoretical premise.
Okay.
Do you
So,
remember the parts of the 7 chapters of a theoretical thesis? So chapter 3 is actually theoretical framework, which means in your case, because high power distance is in your title, your theoretical premise should include that the cultural dimensions model of Hofstede, because this power distance is actually the theory of Hofstede. So the rationale is, okay, so you are talking about high power distance in entrepreneurship. Okay, so let's say that there are different studies already done in power distance using power distance, for example. So you have, it was studied from the point of view of the manager. It was studied from the point of view of middle managers. It was studied from the point of view of a small and medium scale enterprise. It was studied already from the point of view of international conglomerates, for example. So there's 4 areas. So the rationale, you should explain why your research is original and why it is important. And you have to say, this is important because I have read so many articles and so many studies that deals with high power distance and different settings, but it has never been studied from this setting, your setting, which is where is this again?
and throughout businesses in Senegal.
Oh, so it has never been studied from the point of view of Senegal, for example. So that's your rationale. The rationale is your research gap. Okay, Federico, Lucas and Sambaye, you are doing a theoretical research. So is that clear by now? The rationale is the research gap. What research gap are you trying to fill in?
Okay.
So the background of the study is very clear. It's about your personal and professional motivation. The rationale is the research gap. And then I am jumping to you, Lucas, when you said definition of concept is clear. This is the easiest part, Lucas. The definition of concepts is what are the concepts that common people doesn't understand. For example, in my own research of health communication, there I talk about health management, for example. So in my study, what does health management means? What does it mean in my research? If I talk about, let's say, patient compliance. So when you say patient compliance, those who are not into health studies, they might not know what is patient compliance. So I have to define it. That's why it's definition of concept. What are the jargon or special set of words that you use in your research that is not common to ordinary readers? Lucas, did you get my point?
Yeah. I just thought more about like making a list of the concepts that I will be talking about throughout the thesis and then defining them, obviously. But the hard part for me was that I don't know what will be all of the concepts that I will be facing throughout the thesis. So that was something that I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Do you know why you don't know the jargon of your research yet? Because you haven't done the readings. Because once you have done all the readings in the review of the related literature, even you, there will be words from documents that you yourself you don't understand. You don't know the meaning of. What does it mean? Especially in your case where a lot of concepts are actually in Italian. You know that your research will be written in English. It will be submitted in English. It will be reviewed using the English language in your viva voce. So there's a lot of definition of concept because you have to take it as it is in whatever language. So it needs to be in Italian, and then you have to translate it in English, and then you define it. You get my point, Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same thing with you, Sambaye, because in Senegal, your language is French. So you have to identify it, the concepts in French, translate it in English, define it in English, so that your readers will easily understand. Sambaye,
Okay.
did I make myself clear?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so since the two of you, Davide, I forgot if you are doing thesis or
I was doing a thesis about EVs and their sustainability.
okay, so let me talk to the three of you. I mean, Lucas, Sambaye, and you, Davide, because you are doing the theoretical thesis. So
Yes.
I will jump from, you can answer any of the three of you. So as far as Lucas, as far as you are concerned, so what are the other things that is not clear to you, so that we can talk about it, so that you will be able to write better?
I mean, I have no. Looking at the steps that I'm missing, 5 and 6. I think this is something that will not be a problem, and maybe defining the hypothesis that could eventually be harder. Because, for example, as well, when I had to define my title, this was also something lacking where I wasn't there yet, and I think this is the same for hypothesis.
What does it mean? I'm not there yet. What does it mean?
That it's not that accurate yet. I think
your
under
hypothesis.
my first assignment, for example, you told me that there's something lacking for the title, and since it's like not that easy to establish the right thing, I think that could be the same for my hypothesis, like being direct and getting to the point of what actually matters.
Yeah. Can you tell me exactly what your title is?
Well, I thought about it again. I'm still at the old one. Wait, I have to check my options because I wrote down.
Sambaye and Davide, be ready with your title also. I will ask you the same thing.
I have my concept ready 100%, but about the final title, as we have a lot of time left, I will take my time for that. But the concept is about sustainability of electric vehicles compared to the normal combustion engines vehicles.
Okay. I will get back to you, Davide. Lucas, go ahead.
I have like in my previous one, I chose like in the as the title. Like I have two, and I'm not sure yet which one.
Yeah,
suits which.
tell it to me because
The first one would
I
be the
cannot help you if
guarantee
you
of
don't know it.
the guarantee of affordable property for the younger generation in South Tyrol, or if I'm just saying real estate affordability and the effect on the younger generation in South Tyrol.
Say it slowly, please. Espera, huh?
The first one, the guarantee of affordable property for the
The
younger
guarantee
generation.
of affordable
Property
property,
for the younger generation in South Tyrol.
younger generation. In South, how will you spell the name of the place?
South and then TYROL.
South Tyrol.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guarantee of affordable property for the younger generation in South Tyrol. That's option 1. What's option 2?
Real estate affordability and the effect on the younger generation in South Tyrol.
And the effect to younger generation. Okay, so let's work on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is younger generation? What age are we talking about? You know, remember, Lucas, remember when we talk about inductive, deductive thinking? Because when you say younger generation, it depends on so many things. So, but it is whatever you will say, it will be acceptable because you will define it later on in your study that when you say younger generation is between this age to this age, but we have to determine what do you mean by younger generation?
The generation starting from the point that you finished high school and you either start working or you start studying, and until you are like from the point that you are trying to be independent financially.
Okay, Lucas, that will not stand. Give me a specific age frame.
Okay, then I'm saying between 19 and 30.
19 to 30. Okay. So I told you, you are the expert.
It's usually the time where people leave the house, I guess.
Okay. So listen, I will take whatever you will say. You are the expert in your research. Okay. So I am just trying to help you because this will be the question of the panel. So when you say younger generation, so you say 19 to 30. You don't have to define it now. You have to define it later in your paper. Okay. Remember, we have an area where scope and delimitation. So that's where you have to define your parameters. Okay. So the first statement, the first title, the guarantee of affordable property for the younger generation in South Tyrol, is not really an academic title. Okay, so let's go to the next option. The next option is the real estate affordability in the effects to younger generation. So we already defined what is younger generation. Now my question to you is effect. Effect on what? Effect on environment, effect on economy, effect on the psychology of younger generation, effect on financial security. What effect are we talking about?
It can be a combination of the three.
No, it cannot be. It has to be one. Remember, a specific focus. You cannot have a mixture of this and this and this. Why? Because when you say if it's the combination of three, I just mentioned economic, environmental, and let's say societal. The problem with mixing
I think it must be a combination between societal and financial. Because then later on I will be talking about culture, like I will have to talk about culture as well because of the autonomous region and stuff like this. So it is a combination between like having to leave a...
Yeah. Lucas, listen to me. I understand what you're trying to say. But remember, let me finish. If you have three concepts that you need to measure, you have to understand that these three, they have a different tool to measure the effect. You have to measure the effect on environment or on financial, for example, which means you have a different tool to measure this, okay? And then when you say, because the tools that you are going to use to measure the financials is not the same tool that you are going to use when you measure the societal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I understand what you're trying to say. The problem is this, not because you are going to mention in your research that, you know, this also has some environmental effect. It also has some societal effect. It doesn't mean that you have to measure the three. You are just going to mention the others because, of course, they are closely related to one another, but you are only measuring one, the financial effect of it. But it doesn't prevent you from mentioning the others. Mentioning, not measuring. You mention, but you don't measure.
Yeah.
So do not make it very complicated, because at the end of the day, you are going to measure let's say you decide, I don't know which one you are going to decide. Let's say you're going to decide.
Financial, I think it's the easiest to measure.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you're going to decide on the financial. At least you are saying, I am going to measure the effect on the financial. But then again, this effect on the financial is associated, is connected to societal, it's connected to the culture. You are going to mention them, but you are not going to measure them. You understand what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think the second one is a little viable, but I think we need to work on it more. The real estate affordability and its effect on the younger generation of South Tyrol. Okay, so we have to have that place to be very specific. Okay, so as far as the title is concerned, this is what I can offer you at this point. Once I read your paper and the completeness of it on the 22nd, I will make an analysis of your submission and your concepts, and then I will send it back to you with the grades and my comments. Okay, so that's one. Okay, I will go to Sambaye on the chat. Let me check. You have okay, let me address first the concern of Federico. The only problem that I faced in writing my business plan was writing the business canvas and the pestle analysis. Okay, so Federico, you know, if it's becoming very difficult, very cumbersome for you to combine canvas and pestle analysis, remember my instruction. Again, do not make your life complicated. You can only use Canva. That's all right. It is just an option for you if you want to use Canva and the other tools. So if you want to use Business Canva, that's all right. Drop the pestle analysis. Concentrate on the business canvas. Okay? So Sambaye, the effects of high-power distance culture in Senegalese corporate business. The effects of high-powered culture in Senegalese corporate business. Okay, Sambaye, can we identify as a specific industry instead of saying corporate business? Because corporate business can be the bank sector, it can be the hospitality sector, it can be the service sector. But those are all corporate. Because when you say corporate, it's everything.
When I say corporate, I just mean office type businesses, not any business, or because in Senegal, the majority of businesses are not even, let's say, office type businesses. They could be the homemade businesses where the entrepreneurs would be just handling their affairs by themselves. But when I mean corporate businesses, it means, let's say, an organization of people working together in offices, in office type environments. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understand, Sambaye. The concern is that, is there a unifying factor as far as high power distance? Is there one factor that you can use in all sectors of corporate business? Like what I'm saying is, if I belong to the education sector, there is a high power distance. is the high power distance in the education sector the same tools or the same measure that can be applicable to the banking sector? Because when you say corporate business, it means there is a corporate business in bank, there is a corporate business in education, there is corporate business in hospitality, there is a corporate business in the hospital or health sector, for example. So are you telling me with this title that you are going to study, like you are going to pick corporate business in terms of healthcare sector and then the education, and is that what you're trying to do?
No, I was trying to study them as all of them all together. But say about the question that you just had, is it the same? I don't think it's the same. Firstly, because I don't think the high power distance that's present in, let's say, corporate businesses as education, as you mentioned, are as important or as, let's say, extreme as the ones that are in banking sectors and everything. The bigger ones, like the banking sectors, the one that requires more international interventions and everything, I think that they have less high power distance usage than the ones that are solely made and let's say intervened by Senegalese people alone. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm getting it. So my
Yeah.
question, I will, if you can defend this, I will let it, I will let you continue with the work. The
Okay.
only challenge that I will have with you is later on, not in my class, but probably when you do your Viva Voce, is that your panel will be asking, so how did you choose the corporate business that you have chosen to be your study area? Because this can be justified. That's why I'm letting you pursue or continue this title. In the research methodology, when you select the respondents or when you select the area that you're going to do your research on, you have to justify what are your parameters in selecting this industry. So because what I am assuming is that when I read your final paper, there will be a corporate business that has something to do with, let's say, education. There is a corporate business. Okay, so if this is a melange, of a mixture of all different of corporate business from different industry, then at least you have to justify to the panel what made you chose those businesses. As long as you can defend that, you go ahead, you continue with this, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, Sergio, this day I can to participate, but I can't speak, so sorry. Sergio, it's been a few sessions that it's really difficult for you to participate in the class. So I don't know what I am going to do with, or how can I help you? Exactly that I am here to help the students. This is like the first part of this today's session is about consultation. I don't know what you are. I don't know your topic. We haven't really talked about it in class. You always have difficulty with your connection. So I don't know what I am going to expect in your submission. But I will make my decision when I receive your submission on the 22nd. Okay? So let's go to Davide. What do you have? Topic title.
You want a more precise title, as
Yes.
before I gave just a general one. I would go for a critique of the value proposition of electric vehicles in today's automotive market.
Okay, let me write it down. A critique on?
Of the value proposition
Okay.
of electric vehicles
Okay.
in today's automotive market.
In today's automotive market. Okay. A critique of the value proposition of electric vehicles in today's automotive market. Okay, so, okay. How do you plan to do this?
Well, mainly now I focused on the research on exactly understanding where the materials of electric vehicles are produced, um, supplied in, supplied from, because right now the what everyone can understand is that brands such as Volkswagen, Mercedes, and so on, Tesla, so the manufacturers of electric vehicles are getting materials from companies that they are just trusting to be eco-friendly. But I want to get in detail on both making a list of the positive sides of electric vehicles and the cons as well, because it is important, in my opinion, to understand if they are actually eco-friendly as they are marketed uh, or not.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that you are going to like to trace the suppliers of parts.
For the batteries mainly, because the rest is very simple for electric vehicles.
Okay, so okay, you mentioned batteries. The title is good as it is, okay? But I'm looking at how are you going to present this, because when you say value proposition, of course, there's a lot of value proposition from electric vehicles. They are environment friendly, you save money, you save energy. So there's a lot of value proposition. Can you concentrate on one?
Mm, well, I didn't think that there was so much as value proposition. The main concepts are the eco-friendliness, the mm, the fact that they are better than normal combustion engines because of their energy efficiency, at least as regards the usage of the car itself.
So I
Mm,
think instead of saying a value proposition, because there's a few, okay? So there's of course, it's environment friendly, but you also have, the cost or the saving of money, and there are so many aspects of that value proposition. So why don't you concentrate on a critique of uh like eco-friendliness, not the entire value proposition. A critique of, this is, I cannot think exactly what I wanted to say, but within those line of a critique of the eco-friendliness of electric vehicles, for example.
okay.
See? So in today's automotive market, that's good, but replace the value proposition, because again, it's very big. The more specific we are, the better it is for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, a critique of the eco-friendliness, or a critique of once I read your paper, it will come to me.
Okay.
Okay. So in this class, Ambaye, Lucas, and Davide are the ones doing the theoretical research. So let's go to those who are doing a business plan. Andrea, so far, how was your writing?
Okay, I'm writing the airflow. I don't. Oh, sorry. I don't understand the question. Can you repeat?
Okay, let me share my screen. So, Sergio, if you cannot participate orally, please type in the chat your answer to this question. Andrea, there you go. Andrea, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you looking at the screen? Those are the questions that you need to answer. Andrea, can you hear me?
Riso, ma hai capito?
Ah, ok, ci sono. No, non so perché continuava a disattivarmi il microfono. Okay, where are in your writing now? I write the thesis of the airflow, and what did you discover in the writing phase? I discovered the business plan. I discovered the advertising, the marketing of this product, and what are the challenges that you faced, and how did you resolve it? And I tried to resolve a problem of sale of this product, and what clarification you have now, and I have clear my plan for the make the thesis.
Are you doing a business plan or a theoretical thesis?
No, it's a theoretical thesis.
Okay, so Andrea, can you tell me what is your title?
My title? My title is Airflow. I don't understand.
Andrea, what is the title of your thesis? If you are listening, remember I have a very long conversation with Sambaye, with Lucas and Davide, and the concentration of our discussion is about the title. You cannot have a title of airflow. That's the name of your product. So your thesis title should be just like what Davide said in his
No, I
case.
don't know. I don't know the title now. Sorry.
So you have a submission on the 22nd of November, which is on Wednesday. So how are you writing? Because, you know, I said the first part of this lecture is about an update, so I can help you. So even if, look at the title of Davide is not, of Lucas, for example, is not very clear, but we were able to put it in a direction that we can work together and it will be a little clearer in the submission. Davide's title, I asked him to change the value proposition to into something. So we are developing, you know, we are progressing. So it's all right if the title is not well done yet, but you have to give me something to work on. So what is the title of your thesis? You haven't decided yet?
No, now I don't have any idea. Sorry.
This is, Andrea, this is really problematic because we are on our 5th class and we are still talking about a title. You know what I mean? So, okay, so let me help you on that. And I beg the indulgence of all those who are here. I know that it's taking too long, but I need to help some of your classmates. You know, the others can participate a little faster, but I really need to help those who are having some problems when it comes to identifying the topic and formulating the thesis title. Okay, so Andrea, your product is airflow. Okay, and you are going to do a theoretical thesis. Okay, so I would like to ask you, what are you trying to solve? Let's start with that. What problem are you trying to solve in the discussion of airflow?
Sorry, I don't know. I can't now. I can't.
So if not now, Andrea, when? When can you give me the title? Andrea, when can you give me the title? Okay, I think we lost him. Okay, so let's move forward with the business plan. Ano, Pia, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. What's your title, Pia? Because you're also doing theoretical thesis.
Yeah, my title is People Powered Retention.
People-powered relation.
Retention.
People-powered retention, okay.
A study on the role of people-centric practices in keeping employees engaged.
In keeping employees engaged. Okay. People-powered retention. People-powered retention. A study on the role of people-centric practices in
keeping employees engaged.
I cannot understand my handwriting. In keeping in keeping employee engaged. Okay, very good. So, can you please briefly explain what do you mean by people-centric practices?
I mean, the fact that, okay, so my study basically is a study of a research of the why some people in some companies around the world wants to quit their job.
Okay.
And their contracts by themselves.
Okay.
Like by their decision.
Okay. So, are you going to study a particular, I think I asked this to you last time, are you going to study a particular corporation, a particular business?
Honestly, I don't know yet. I actually had wrote down my introduction and the first paragraph of the first chapter. So now I have 6 pages in total, but I don't know yet what I want to concentrate my research, honestly.
Yeah, because when you said you want to know why people are like
yeah, but the fact is that I can also maybe take data in percentage around the world, like in nations.
Yeah.
So maybe in that way it could be more easy.
Yeah. Pia, if it's going to be a study of percentages of employee retention, or we call this the great attrition or the great recognition, the great resignation, I don't know what will be the advice of your research director for you, but a global study, that is a PhD work. So,
but do you not think that maybe it's more easy, like if I have to take the percentage of France, for example, in 1 year, this type of data are existing yet, so it's just a research that I have to do?
Well, it's very obvious that your motivation is the easiest it is. You know, the easier it is, the better for me. So that's your, I mean, if that is your motivation, then go ahead. I mean, the decision is your decision, and it's also your research director's decision. But from my end, probably I'm very idealistic about it. I want a thesis to be, even if it's a bachelor's thesis, I want it to be very, how do you say it, very focused, very small, but I wanted to have an impact. But what you wanted to do is, I wanted to do a lot. It doesn't matter where it goes. If that is your motivation, I will leave it to you and to your research director. It's not for me. But then I will not impose what I want to you. If that's
yeah, obviously, but I didn't understand your advice in this case.
The advice is that because you mentioned, I would like to do a statistics of people-powered retention in the
Yeah.
world and get the statistics and the percentages of what is the percentages of France, what is the percentages in different
I
countries, the US.
have that.
Yeah, and that's what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it can be a descriptive, it can be a comparative analysis or descriptive analysis. But what you are going to do is, I'll take the data from here, I take the data from here, I put them all together, that's the thesis. See? So
Yeah.
I mean, it can be done. It can be done. That's why, if you wanted to do that, it can be done. Ideally, from my end, which I am never going to impose on any of my students, but if I am the research director or I will be in the panelist, I will not allow it. Why? Because I want the research to be very specific, but with an impact. It's not just a reporting of, this is what happened to, it's like, okay, what happened to the price of gold in the gold rush, for example, in the US. So the data is already there. You're just putting it together in one report, and then you report it just like in a class, but you're writing a thesis.
Okay, so what do you think is best that I can do? I mean, like, take a company and analyze like their data on this topic.
Yeah, for me, Pia, that's a lot better than.
But do you not think that maybe in this way it will be like really, really shorter?
Well, you are doing a bachelor's thesis.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, if you are doing an MBA, for example, the parameters are different. If you are doing a doctorate thesis, the parameters are different. But you are doing a bachelor thesis. What is important is for you to be able to effectively apply. For example, of course, for your topic, you will have focus interview. If you can prove within the thesis that you actually did focus interview and you know how to properly do the focus interview, and you know properly how to analyze focus interview data, the transcript, that is good enough for a bachelor's degree. Instead of, researching everything and all the data and then putting it in one paper. I mean, you do that for a class, but it is not advisable for a thesis. So even if you will say, yeah, but that is very small because you are only asking me to interview or apply this concept in one company. Yes, you applied it in one company, but you did it good.
Okay.
You practice, you practice it good. It's a lot better than going big. And then, I'm sorry, Pia, it looks like how do you say, a can, and then there's 2 coins inside and you keep on banging it. It makes a lot of sound, but when you open, there's only 2 coins. It's better.
Yeah.
A very small coin, it doesn't make a lot of sound, but when you open, the reason why it doesn't make a lot of sound because it's full. So that's my personal take on the thesis.
Okay, so maybe I can choose a company in these days, and I can also put the name of the company in the title in a way that is more specific, that my research is just on that company.
Okay, I will give you the easier way. So instead of looking for what company, why don't you apply your research for SSM Brescia? It's a company. Why don't you do, I don't know what is the name of the high school in Brescia, also run by Stefano. Don't
Newton.
go. Yeah, exactly. So they are company. So why don't you ask them to be the subject of your research? However, and this is an advice to everyone, especially those who are doing theoretical thesis, you are not allowed to put the name of the company in the title. In your case, Pia, for example, you will do, let's say, it's the Swiss School of Management. Instead of identifying the Swiss School of Management, you will say an international higher education institution. It has to be vague. Okay, so if you're going to say the Swiss School of Management in Brescia, you will say a higher learning institution in Brescia. that is acceptable. You just cannot put the exact title of the company or
Okay, yeah,
the title.
I get it.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. You're good. So where are you in the writing so far?
Sorry.
Where are you in your writing? You will be able to
I
submit in a second.
I finished the first paragraph of the first chapter.
Okay, so that's a good start. Just pay
Yeah.
attention to the deadline.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now let's go to those who are doing the business plan. Luigi, where are you? So far, so good?
Yeah.
Any challenges or anything? Any clarification?
Not now.
Okay, so everything is clear. You were able to define you were able to define your the kind of industry where you belong, your strategic team.
Yeah, I built the strategic team last time, and the sector I relate very well. But with my father in these days, that is come back from a business trip, I can better understand this
Okay.
point.
Good, good. No problem with the business canvas, whatever you were able to manipulate your way into how to feel all those 9 concepts there.
Yeah, I was looking at before, and I think it's fine. Maybe I can develop it a bit, and but for now, I think I have a good base.
Okay, very good. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you. Tommaso,
Thank you.
any
Yeah,
update?
Professor. So, actually, I'm okay with writing. I did the first 3 points. So the description, the introduction, strategic team, and the description of the product service. I have to do the pestle and the SWOT, but overall I'm pretty good.
Okay, Tommaso, don't forget that you have, it's a must to have the business canvas. Okay.
Yeah, I have to do the business Canva too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't need to do pestle and SWOT analysis. I mean, you can have canvas and then pestle, or canvas or a SWOT analysis, or canvas and the point.
Yeah, I have to decide one. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
I can
far,
do
so
just
good.
the Canva. Yeah. So far,
Okay.
so good.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Giacomo, any update, please?
Yeah, I'm writing the introduction for the argument, and I trying to fill all the paragraph for the canvas.
Oh, that's good. That's
And
good. Yeah, everything will be okay for the 22 November 22 submission.
yeah, I think I will be on time.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm very glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Let's see what Federico. Sergio, if you cannot talk, please write it in the chat so I can read your submission. So for Enrico, I will just go. Okay. Federico, for now, I have written the answer to the points you requested during my writing. I discovered several interesting points that connect my company to different aspects of SWOT analysis and pest analysis. The main problems were that little information I knew, but different texts and research, I managed to solve the problem. Okay. I've used all the points like SWOT, business canvas, special for my business plan. It's good. Well, Federico, if you were able to put all these things together, that's all right. Canvas, pestle, SWOT analysis, it's okay. If you were able to do it good, no problem. It's that's good. I am not going to advise everyone to do all, the canvas plus 3, because it might be a little difficult, a little challenging for them. But if you can do it, go ahead. The better it is for you. Okay. So Sergio, I will be waiting for your submission in the chat if you cannot talk. I saw Mirko earlier, but Mirko disappeared. Okay, so far so good at this point. Let me check. Okay, so now let's go to in general, and you have to be honest with me. Is this class a little difficult for you to follow?
No,
Luigi,
for
you're
me.
For me, no.
Tommaso, you're good. Yeah, because I have this feeling for others that it might be too complicated. I mean, you are BBA, and I'm very conscious that I only teach you the basic. So sometimes it's also challenging for me to, should I lower it more? I mean, if I lower this more, this will be a definition class. Let's define what is the hypothesis. Let us define what is rationale. If I lower this class more, again, it will be a definition class. So you have to tell me if I need to make more adjustments so that I can accommodate some of you. Federico, it's good. Okay, thanks. No, it's okay. Okay, Sergio, my topic is a business plan. Okay, about my activity and implement, they sell and diminish problems and manage their progress. Sergio, again, how will I say this? It's your ideas are always very big. You know how the discussion with Pia, the discussion with Davide and with everyone. I know it's irritating sometimes, but when it comes to thesis, I really wanted to be specific. Just study one ball pen, for example. You don't need to study all the ball pens. You are bachelor student. So your concept of a business plan about the activity and implement what they sell, I don't know how to work on this, because again, this is very big even for me. So I don't know how to help you. Can you make it more focused and then submit it in the chat again? And then once I see you write something in the chat, then I'll address it if you cannot talk in the class. Okay? Because Sergio, we've been doing this tango for a while. So what do you want to do now? You are asking the wrong question. It should be me who will ask you, what do you want to do? Okay? Remember, you want to do I remember a business plan on restaurant, correct? You want to do a green restaurant. That's good. Yes, okay, that's good. That's good. So for the green restaurant, since it is a business plan, you have seen the parts of the business plan that I shared in the PowerPoint slide, correct? And you have seen the requirements for the submission on the 22nd. I am not asking for the entire business plan, to fill out all the format. There's only 3 or 4 concepts that I am asking you to fill out, because that would be a good start. So if you want to do, and I will encourage you to continue with your work on the green restaurant, go to the instruction on the assignment and then submit on the 22nd. And then I will judge your work based on your submission on the 22nd, because it is written. I understand that probably it's a little difficult for some of you to express themselves orally because of, there is a language barrier. Sometimes I understand that even me, sometimes when I try to explain something, my first foreign language is French. So the first thing that comes to mind is French, and sometimes I struggle to translate it into English. So I understand, but the breaking, the submission on the 22nd is really a make or break for everyone. Because I will make my assessment on your first submission. I will make a recommendation. Next session is our 6th session. which means there's 2 sessions left. So if I think that your submission on the 22nd is not good enough after 5 sessions, then I will make a recommendation to Luca and to Lisa that these students need to do more than what is expected, because these students were not able to meet the expectation of the class. How they are going to address that, it's either they're going to ask you to repeat, they're going to ask you for a special assignment. That's beyond me. But I will release the students who are not able to follow the class to Lucas and Lisa, and they can do what is necessary for them. What the help do they need? So I can reduce the concept for the business plan. The thing, Sergio, is that I really don't know what you wanted to do. So your question of, can I reduce the concept? I don't know, because I don't know what are your concepts. See, that's the problem. I don't know what do you want to do, because with the others, it's very clear that they want to do the marketing side, they want to improve the communication side, but your business plan is a startup. So, which is actually good, because you can manipulate actually all the concepts that you will put there, because it is not an existing business. That's one of the benefit of doing a business plan as a startup. Everything is on the drawing board. So you can say, I will take this out because it doesn't exist anyway. I will take this out. I can replace it with this because this fits better. For those who are doing scale up, like Luigi, for example, you cannot manipulate all the concepts. Why? Because the concepts are already existing. They are already being practiced. They are already in place. So you cannot just manipulate and put this triangle should be here, this square should be here. No, why? Because the business is already ongoing, and whatever your findings it will be implemented in your own business. So that's the thing. Okay, so we discussed everything. Everything seems clear. So again, the make or break will be the first submission of your work on the 22nd. What will I do? I will read it. Give me 48 hours to read everything, because when I read a document like that, I really make sure that I read everything so I can make good comments so that the student will be guided on what to do next. Okay, so give me 48 hours to return the paper to you with a grade. And then I will make my recommendation, continue with the class. Okay, it's like a midterm exam. Continue with the class, you're doing good, you're doing okay. As you can see in the Google Classroom, I already uploaded 1 grade there, because you already did 1 assignment for me. The PowerPoint slides that you uploaded is a tantamount, is equivalent to 1 quiz. And then this submission that you will have on your 22nd will be your second activity, and then you will have 1 more activity in the final submission. And then the mock Viva Voce is also graded as one quiz. So just making sure that you are on top of it. I already gave a grade of 0 to those who were not able to submit on time. I was very clear to everyone that I don't accept late submission, because I give the assignment so much ahead of time. So there is no excuse not to be able to submit it on time. Okay, Sergio. So I know I want to develop much different sales point. To do that, I need to do SWOT analysis and PESTEL analysis. After that, I put a business plan to move on. Probably now you can more clear what I wanted to do. Well, Sergio, in English we say the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Okay, so I will wait for your paper submission on the 22nd, and then I promise you, I will look intently. I will spend so much time in your submission so that I will be able to help you. Okay, so put it in writing and then we'll talk. Okay, moving forward. So this is a sample thesis. This will be done not only for the theoretical thesis, but also for your business plan. Remember, I told you that it is going to be submitted to turn it in to have the similarity check. Make sure that you are submitting an original document. So this is an example. So This is actually for an MBA thesis, but this is just an example of how Turnitin will work. So we will submit your final manuscript before scheduling your Viva Voce to turn it in. And then this is actually the result. Okay, so here, as you can see, the match overview is 21%, which is actually very high because we are only allowing 11 to 15%. But as you can only see, there is how do you say this? There is this thing here. It's actually a filter. So if I click that and I say eliminate the bibliography, this one from 21%, it will go low for sure. It will go low. So I didn't choose the filter. I just use, as we call this, the universal number. If I click this and I filter and I remove the bibliographic entry, the system will not count your entry in the bibliography, which means it will be lower. This one actually from 21%, it goes to 17% without the bibliography. Okay, so what I do is, as you can see, there's this 1 and 1 and 1 in 1. So I will look at it and I will say, this one should not be included, this one should not be included. So this is what we do with your Turnitin report. Can you confirm if we see my business plan draft submitted? I will do that after the class, Federico. Okay, I will make a confirmation after the class. Okay, so another one is actually this one. It's 37%. Where if the universal number, even without the filter, is 37%, we automatically return it to the student with the Turnitin report, which means your entire document will be sent to you with the highlight from Turnitin saying, this you have to paraphrase, this you don't have the proper citation. So it will be given back to you so that you can edit it. Okay, so this is what a Turnitin report looks like. Okay. Oh, sorry. What did I do?
Excuse me, miss, but regarding that, you were telling us last time about how Turnitin, we cannot have more than 11 to 15% of the percentage. That is on the universal. That is on the universal total, right? Not on any single resource.
It's a universal total.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't. The Turnitin will how do you say it? Will review your document in its entirety. Okay, I think it's better to show it to you.
Because I was just checking to make sure that like the Turnitin would be on the universal universal percentage and not just on any part specifically.
Okay, let me go to Turnitin. Give me 1 minute, please, so I will tell you how it works. Okay, give me 1 minute.
Ma il Turnitin è la possibilità.
Come again?
Turnitin è quello che controlla il like if you plagiarized, if you copied.
Yes. They don't say it's called similarity check. They don't want it to be called plagiarism checker. Okay, so
Okay.
I will show you.
And in the business plan, we have to use APA citation.
APA citation, yes.
Also in the business plan.
Also in business plan, please.
Okay.
Yes. I will show you. Guys, I will show you this with the name, huh? But actually, this is just for, I will show this example with the name, but this is just for your information. Okay. I will choose the student of SSM Barcelona, so we will not have a problem. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the Turnitin of the Swiss School of Management. So as you can see, we have 3%, 7%, 10%. So everything is good. We have 13%. See, okay, let's choose one. Let's say we do Homekey LLC. This one is a business plan. Okay, so this is a 40 pages. And as you can see, the general report is 6%. This is the screenshot that I mentioned to you earlier. Okay, so however, if I do the filter and it says exclude quotes or exclude bibliography, for me, I don't usually exclude quotes. I exclude bibliography because the bibliography, the system, the crawlers, that's how it is called. The crawlers are actually reading everything. So if I exclude bibliography and then I apply the changes, okay, so from the 6%, it will be 5%. See, so it becomes less because it doesn't count the bibliographic entry. If you can see here, this is the AI detection. So you cannot copy paste from whatever artificial intelligence generated text because Turnitin has the capacity to determine your AI content. Okay? Here, there is a red flag. What does it mean? There is an attempt to throw off similarity detection. Okay, why? Because there is a system that students can use. This is, it's giving you an idea. There is a system that student can use to kick out any AI application tool that can be used on their paper. But then Turnitin can actually detect if the student is trying to kick out or throw off similarity detection. So this is what happened. So how does it look like? Where does in this case, where does the 5%, where does it appear? Okay, this is a startup company. It doesn't have the report. Let me double check. This is an MBA student from the US. And as you can see, this is how we did it. See, description of products and services. This is actually following the format of the Swiss School of Management. So they have membership fee. So that's the commission. And for you to have an idea of those who are going to do business plan, you have the competition analysis. So that's the competition. This is the business. The competition is Zillow and Redfin. So that's part of this. You have to have that, all the data. These are called, in the business plan, you have, for example, list of graphs and list of figures. So that's what you have. And then I actually use SWOT analysis for this one. Okay. And then you have these numbers are, what are these? I just want to show you all the numbers. So you have the USP, the unique selling proposition. See, you have that for your business canvas. The business model, see, the business model is there. So he used SWOT analysis and he used the business canvas. This is actually a submitted work. The student actually submitted and passed the Turnitin report, and it was done in Viva Voce. See, if you will look at the business canvas, sometimes it is just overwhelming because there's 9 concepts. But you don't have to have so many. I mean, it depends on the business. Key partners. The student is working for the US government. So who are your key partners? What are your key activities? What are your value proposition? So this is how the business Canva model works. Okay, the Turnitin works. So you have an idea that it's really important for us to have to pass your work into the business model Canva. Okay, going back to the lecture. Now we go to, sorry, let me. Okay, so now we have addressed some of the concerns about writing the research title. I was hoping that Andrea is here. No, he left. Okay. Okay. So, how to write an excellent research title? First, it needs to be clear. A strong research title should be specific. Even for those who are doing the business plan, you have to say exactly what is the business plan about. This doesn't apply only to the theoretical thesis, but to the business plan as well. So, one title as an example that was given submitted to me by a bachelor student is, his topic is about luxury. He said, is becoming a luxury brand a possible solution to preserve craftsmanship and cultural heritage? A study on the meaning of luxury. This title is actually very vague. Is becoming a luxury brand a possible solution to preserve craftsmanship and cultural heritage? A study on the online meaning of luxury. First, I will tell you, in the research title, it is never presented as a question. It is always a statement. Okay, so that's one golden rule in creating an effective research title. You don't post it as a question. So I suggested to the student, can we make this better by saying craftsmanship as a way of preserving cultural heritage, a study on luxury. See, so if you put it this way rather than this way, this is actually more more clear. It's clearer, it's precise. So that's one the good thing about one tip in creating an excellent research title. Second, everyone knows about this Titanic door. You know, I always make this as an example because it's always like how do you say it? It's very iconic. Everyone knows about this. In doing a research title, you have to use engaging words to stimulate the reader's interest. For example, this Titanic door, if I am the one doing a research on this, I will title it as the most controversial door in the history of Hollywood movies. A critical analysis of game theory applied in human survival decision-making process. So it's actually stimulates the reader's interest because it's not just about, you know, a critical analysis of, a critique of. For example, Davide, I will challenge you to create a research title because you have a very timely and very interesting topic of research. I will challenge you to create something like this as a title. Instead of saying a critique of the value proposition of whatever, think of words that would reflect these electric cars and their benefit, and then put it as a statement, and then just add at the end a critique of, you know, do it reverse. So if I were you, I will think of some words and put it together to make it more appealing to the audience. So please use engaging words in your research title to entice readership. Use current jargon in the field. Jargon is the words that are being used in your research. For example, I didn't realize that the word green money is actually very popular in India because they have a banking sector that talks about sustainability within the banking industry. Okay, so you can use the jargon in your profession. For example, as stated here, green money, an analysis of sustainability in the banking industry in Berlin, in Germany, for example. And then you can also use the purpose of research, artificial intelligence and health management, an experimental study on the use of AI in outpatient monitoring. So what is the purpose of the research? The purpose of the research is to find out what is the use or how artificial intelligence is being used for outpatient monitoring. So the purpose of the research. The narrative tone of the paper, what is it about? It is a descriptive study. It is an exploratory study. It is an explanatory study. So that's the narrative tone. What are the research methods? It can be a survey of, your title, Davide, a critique of. So that is what is a title using the research method approach, meaning you are telling your audience what will you be expecting as you read my research. When you say a descriptive study of, you know exactly that these are description of a phenomenon. When you say a survey of, it means you're going to see a lot of statistics, a lot of numbers, because it has something to do with how many said that, how many incident happened in this country, after how many years did earthquake happen in this country, for example. So that is a survey study of. Okay, so that's what you do when you do a research question. How do you formulate research question? First, you have to start very big and then you go smaller. That's why in the beginning, when I ask you, so what is your research topic? You say, yeah, I want to do the study on green restaurants, for example. In the beginning, that's all right. Why? Because we are starting big and then we are going slow. You have to follow this inverted triangle. So you start with a general topic, in this case, media violence. And then you have to browse a few general books for ideas. You have to read a lot about the topic. So for you to be able to understand what your topic is all about. So you have to read a lot of material. So once you have done this, from the media violence, which is very general, now you formulate the research question. In this case, are teens affected by violent media? And then you narrow it further. Is there any evidence that violent video games increase violence in teens? Okay, so as an exercise, this is what I want you to do. Following this, and we actually work on your research title. I am going to give you 15 minutes. You have to think of your research. You have to state your research problem. We already talked about it in the beginning, so it's easy for you. Okay, you already have your research problem. Now you have to formulate the research question. What do you want to ask? Because you already know what is the problem. To be able to answer this problem, what are the questions that I need to ask? Okay, so 15 minutes, and you have to post your answer in the stream of the Google Classroom, and I will check it from there. Is that clear? State your research problem, and then 2 to 3 research questions. If you cannot do 2, if you cannot do 3, just 2, and we will work from there. Because a research problem is usually between 3 to 5. But for the sake of this exercise, which is only per 15 minutes, I am only asking you to do 2 to 3 research questions. 15 minutes, you have to post it in the stream. Okay?
Yes. I'm sorry. So when in the case of a business, in the case of a
business plan,
the business plan, so I need to ask questions which are problems within the business plan. Like, if I say, actually, I'll pull up my my actual statement, how to start a company in the modern world. So I say, well, one of the questions would be, well, what changes from 20 years ago to now? Like questions that can arise.
Yeah, for the business plan, it's actually a very good question. For the business plan, the research question is, based on your value proposition.
Okay.
Based on your look at your value proposition and then ask the question, why is this my value proposition? Is this my value proposition because no one else is doing it? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
your research question should be based on your value proposition. Because even if it's a business plan, let's say it's a startup. In your case, Enrico, it's a startup, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so in your case, because the reason why you are banking, you are believing that your business will work even if it is a startup is because you are offering services or products that has not been offered before, right? Okay,
Yes.
so your research question will be based on the value proposition. Look at your value proposition, formulate your research question from there.
Okay.
Okay, so 15 minutes. I'll be back in, yeah, it's 11:45. So at 12 o'clock, we'll start the discussion.
All right. See
Okay,
you.
okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Just to verify, Federico and Luigi, I already have your submission in the Google Classroom. Okay, you can see my screen, Luigi? Yeah,
Yes.
okay. See, your name is here and Federico is here. So which means, Federico, I can now answer your question earlier if it was uploaded. It's here already, so it's uploaded. Okay, just to be sure. Okay, so okay. Federico, Luigi,
Dr. Liz,
yes.
I have already, I have also a written part in paper, but I put it in the classroom, not in the classwork segment.
This one, the problem and the question.
No, is regarding the business plan.
It's regarding the business plan. Okay, so where did you put it?
In stream.
In stream. The paper that you have
Yeah,
submitted.
yeah. That
This
one.
one. This one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I already graded. I already have given you a grade on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you can check, I have already given you a grade on this.
Okay, thank you.
Before we continue, you have seen this, no? This is an invitation for the International Student Week here in Barcelona on March 3 to 8. For the SSM students, it's actually for, it includes a hotel accommodation for 4 nights. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and your checkout is a Friday. So the fee is 480, including the seminar and the hotel accommodation. But I think for SSM students, it's discounted to 440. So 40 euro discount for SSM students. But you have to register on or before the end of December 29. So if you can, if you want to come, if you want to make the reservation, do it now so that we can secure you of your space for the International Student Week, and the topic will be branding in the age of artificial intelligence. So I hope you will come. Will there be people who will be interested to join this? I mean,
I'll have to let you know on that, but it does sound very interesting.
yeah, I mean, Davide, who else? Sergio and Mirko actually attended the International Student Week last year. The topic is different, but still, it's, the Swiss School of Management Barcelona is known to be the center of digital innovation. So all our topics are focused on digital innovation. Okay, so moving forward with our discussion today, let's see. So I can only see submission of Lucas and Luigi. What about the rest? Tomaso,
Before.
there was a before. Okay. So I have Enrico. Okay, Sambaye, Tommy. Okay, so let's do this one by one. Let's start with this. Sorry, Tommy. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So for me, will be important to understand the client satisfaction and the retention inside my agency. So my question was if like what are the factors that increase a long-term client retention and loyalty?
Okay.
As the first one.
Uh-huh.
And the second one, the research about the last trend inside the graphic design, and their preference and their what they go the most right now. My question: what are the design style that are appealing to the market right now? Could work.
What is the design style? What do you mean design style? As in design, as in the graphics?
Yeah, the graphic. What trends? Like, what are the trends that are going the most? Like, as a futuristic kind of design, as like a minimalist kind of design.
Yeah. if that is a question for me, it depends on the nature of the business. For example, for me as the owner of the Swiss School of Management Barcelona, I am very traditional because I believe in tradition. I believe in culture, that the certain things needs to be preserved. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't like it when there's a lot of lines in the design. I mean, as you can see from my oh no, I cannot do that. As you can see from this, for example,
Mhm.
when it comes to the promotion of our projects, especially if it's, you know, towards really artificial intelligence, sometimes I have some people who are telling me, clients are telling me that it's very, my interpretation is too, how do you say that? It's so, it's what is expected. Like artificial intelligence is always connected to the robot. I mean, yeah, but for me, I cannot connect artificial intelligence to a flower, for example. You know, so it's always the very strong interpretation, but that actually depends on the mission and the vision and the taste of the business. So, but I think, Tommy, that should not be your question. Your question should be, because let us
Okay.
concentrate on this. Your research problem is that you want to understand the
Mhm.
client satisfaction and retention inside my agency. So your question is, how can I make them stay? That's your question, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
How can I make them stay? So if that is your question, if that is your research problem, your question is really, what are the clients? How can you make them stay? I mean, you have to understand, Tommy, that all the
The-
agencies that are offering your services are actually offering the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, if you have an excellent graphic artist or graphic designer, of course, the others, they also have excellent graphic designers. So now
The
your
things
question,
the things that change is like the subscription based, you know.
so
Yeah, because the other offering like they pay for something that you create a project and you pay for the project. Instead, you have like some as like a graphic designer that every month, and when you need something, he will provide you the things that you need, and you can pose it as a subscription, and you don't have to like employee a graphic designer for your startup or something that you create.
okay,
That's the difference.
yeah, Tommy, you know that I've been working with my graphic designer for the last 7 years. And what makes me stay? First is the friendly, very economical, because, you know, of course,
It
in
is
the
economic.
last 7 years, I think in general, the payment, probably it gotten up to as high as 15%, but it is not much compared to the others. Second is that I follow, just like what you are saying, I follow a subscription scheme. I
Okay.
don't do per project, because the per project, as you already know, the per project is too costly for me as a business. So I
Yeah.
would rather have, because there are months that are it's not moving too fast. There's nothing much really going on. But there are months that I have a lot of activity. So it compensates for the month that I don't have so much work. For example, you know, if I will have, let's say, a dull month, I will have 3 projects. But on any, for a very busy month, I will have 10 to 12 projects. So in average, I will have 7 projects per month. Okay, because our contract is per year. So I have 7 projects per month. If I have 7 projects per month and I will pay per project, this is how much it would cost. However, if I have the subscription, it looks like I am paying 4.5 projects per month instead of 7.
For that I create like the subscription plan based, because it was like more more how you say it in English, it's like
it's more economical for the
Yeah,
for the
for the
client.
client. Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so because that
And also you can pose it. So if someone needs, like, as you said, 6 project in a month, and the other month need this 12 project, you can do the 7 project and after pause it, and keep the time, because it's like 1 month, as you said, 1 month plan. So keep the time that you rest, that you the graphic designer didn't do a work, and add to for the new projects,
Okay, so your research problem is to understand the client satisfaction and how you are going to retain them. So
it's like a fundamental for me.
yes, so that is your research problem. So your that's your research problem. So your research question is, you have already identified that one of the factors that makes them stay is that if you offer them a subscription. Okay, so
Yeah.
so the research question that you have now is, how effective is the subscription in retaining client?
So I have to go inside more the question. Right?
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, for the main question, your question is subscription the best way to retain a client in my agency? The second question is, I think, the latest trend, that should not be your question. Think of something else along the line of maintaining your client. I mean, do you
Okay.
maintain I don't know, probably I'm wrong, but do you think you can maintain your client by being your designs being futuristic, by being minimalist? I don't know.
No,
You
it's just follow follow up the trends. If it's not maintaining it's not helping you maintaining the client, as you said. It's like more follow the trend, and so the prospective client can make sure that is in the right positioning about the graphic.
I think your second question should be, because your first question is subscription the effective in maintaining a client? In maintaining a client, it's like, will effective professional relationship help? What do you mean by effective professional relationship? Like, if I ask you a question, are you available to answer? If I ask you that this material, the deadline is on the 22nd of November, can you deliver it?
Yeah.
So that's part of maintaining. So at least that two question of, is subscription the best way to maintain a client? Is professional relationship, developing a strong professional relationship, helps retain a client? At least concentrate on it, and then work on
Probably
it. On the third question, you can work on the fourth question.
Probably go deeper in the first one, because you can say a lot about that, right?
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
I can go
For sure.
more deeper,
Yeah,
as
for
you
sure.
said.
Okay, so at least you
Thank
have the
you.
main question, and then
Yeah.
the other question based on that.
I will work on it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Sambaye, your question. To what extent Senegalese manager use high power distance culture to their advantage? What are the repercussions of abusive high power distance culture of Senegalese manager to their respective businesses? Okay, so Sambaye, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so
So in the first question, I'll try to explain the different situations or the different, let's say, kind of settings in which managers usually use high power distance culture to their advantage, if it makes sense. And in the second one, which kind of, I don't know if it would be a better idea that I change my thesis question to negative the effects of negative high power culture, instead of just the effects of high power culture, as, let's say, as a culture in general.
Yeah, very good question. Because actually my comment is that, you know, Sambaye, you are very smart to understand that you frame your questions in a negative way, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will tell you, in research, especially in the beginning, in the title, and in your hypothesis, you should be neutral because you don't know what would be the result of your research.
Oh, okay.
If you are going to angle it negatively or positively and not neutral, there is one word that will be thrown to you very strongly by your panelists. This
Okay.
research is biased. See?
Okay.
So I think to what extent replace the word to their advantage into something more neutral.
More neutral. Okay.
Yes, because you can say that it is negative or it is positive towards the end. You
Okay.
can say that point, but after you already done
So
your
I could say, for example, to an extent, they use high power distance culture to the advantage of the company, then the business. In this case, it could be, let's say, comes to find out, in some cases it could be negative, but on some points also it could be positive, right?
Yes, what you can do is to rephrase it by saying to what extent Senegalese managers use high power distance culture in their businesses.
In their businesses, okay.
Yeah, see, so you don't know if it's going to be negative or
Or
positive.
positive, okay.
Yeah, I am going to investigate. Let's see later. See, so that's neutral. The second is, what are the repercussions of abusive high power distance culture of Senegalese managers on their respective business? So repercussions and abusive, these are very strong negative words. So
Yes.
again, I suggest you think about it, make it more neutral. You can,
Okay.
again, make your recommendations towards the end of your thesis and the recommendation and the data analysis and whatever, but not in this very early part, because bias will be your problem.
Okay, no problem.
Clear?
Understood.
Okay, yes, very good.
Thank
See, I like it when you give me something like this to work on, because even if it's not perfect, I mean, that's the reason why we are here. So when you give me something to work on, I will be able to help you. Okay, very
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Next, we go to Enrico. How will you change people's mind to use your system rather than the old-fashioned way? How can you be sure that clients will remain with you? And how do you think you will be able to expand your outreach beyond one region? Enrico, remind me again, what is your topic?
It's a startup to help people be able to find work and workers in a much quicker and easier fashion. You know, freelance entrepreneurs, let's call them like that.
Okay.
Regarding the first question, you know, the way that that people will change their mind is the same concept of auto scout. You know, you have a one single point in which I can find everything I'm looking for, because about 60% of people in Italy who do freelance jobs, such as electricians, psychologists, and all these things here, go through word of mouth. The other 40 generally are through online marketing to their personal singular website. And that doesn't really work for them, because it means that people just kind of go to the people with the best SEO, you know, the best, the first few people. Instead, by having a quick, simple application like the one that we'll be using, it makes it easy to be able to find people with good reviews, something very objective, which helps build a trust and confidence in the person that you're looking for. So that would be the way that we hope to change people's mind, not as the consumer, but more as the person who does the actual job, because they're always looking to expand their repertoire of clients. And it's okay until they have a website or they put up their personal flyers and numbers, but having something on their phone, easy to access, which gives everybody the opportunity to see you, is a much better and simpler way to get an out.
So you are going to develop this app, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is this subscription based?
Yes, it is subscription based, which kind of, in a way, answers the second question. It'll be an annual subscription, not a monthly. It'll be an annual subscription because that means that for an entire year, we force them to remain on the app, even if they don't use it that much. It makes sure that they can try and remain and see if anybody pops up, if they could try a different approach, change the profile pictures and all these things here.
Okay, I will give you my 10 cents thought about that. In subscription, once you tell a client that I am going to look for a job, but I have to subscribe to your app for 1 year, I will tell you honestly, it's a turn off.
No, okay. I should have been more specific. There is a grace period to let them try out, see if it works. If it works for them, good. If it doesn't, I'm not going to force them to pay for a year. There is a couple of months free, just like with Autodoc.
Okay.
Autodoc,
I will give you the psychology behind that, because if I am looking for a job and then you will offer me 1 year subscription, does it mean, it psychologically speaking, what it tells me is that it will take 1 year for me to find a job. That's the subconscious message that I will be getting. I will not also encourage you to give a free trial. Why? Because everything that you give for free, you have to get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. What I would suggest, and the Turnitin that I showed you live, Alvin, is actually a subscription service, and he actually gave us a very good idea of how to make the subscription sell. Okay, so the subscription, remember, the year is divided into quarters: quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So what he did, which I think is very smart, is to have a subscription for 3 months, but it's a little higher. Okay, so let's say, for example, for the purposes of discussion, if you will subscribe to my service for 1 quarter, it will cost you 30 euro. Okay, if you will subscribe for 2 quarters, I will give it to you for, instead of 30 plus 30, so it's going to be 60, I'll give it to you at 55. So you have 5 euro discount. If you 3 quarters, you have, instead of 90, I'll give it to you at 80. And then if you have 1 year, I'll give it to you at 85. See? So it's a progressive pricing, which psychological will help you. I don't believe in the extreme of 1 year, but I don't believe in the extreme of free. The moment you subscribe, you pay. But then again, the longer you subscribe, the cheaper it is for you. So make a scheme like that. I mean, this is a startup. I mean, if it has not been, once you do your environment scan, your competitor analysis, you have to look at other services very similar to what you are offering. Like the one that you are saying, like this one, they are saying they have a subscription of 100, make it lower for you. You are introducing yourself to the market, and then you cannot retain your client in your platform because it will backfire on you. It will say, well, if Elizabeth Nawis is still in your platform after 3 months, you are not very effective, because you have your point of advertisement later on is that, look at Elizabeth Nawi. He subscribed to our service for 3 months. On the second month, she's out. Why? Because she already found a job. See? So it is counterproductive to say, I would like to retain my client for 1 year. It's going to backfire on you. Okay? So going back to the question, Enrico, all what I'm saying is based on my assessment. Okay? At the end of the day, you know exactly what is on the ground there in Italy. I am not very familiar. And then you will be working with your research director, so you work it out together. But I'm telling you my 10 cents worth, because it might be able to help you look at the different perspective of things. Okay, so having discussed what we have discussed, so let's go back to your research question, which is actually good to work on because you are doing a startup. The first question is, how do you change people's mind? No, that will take forever. Okay, so let's eliminate that. How can you be sure that clients will remain with you? I think not remain, referral. How can you, referral, how can you make sure that your clients will refer you to their friends? Okay?
I'll just write that down quickly. That's
So instead of remain with you, referral, not remain, okay? And how do you think you will be able to expand your outreach beyond one region? That I agree. That's good. The expansion side of it. See? So now that we discuss about it, it's good because you are giving me excellent material to work with. Okay, Enrico? Everything clear? Okay.
very clear. Thank you.
Good. Now we go to Lucas. How concerning is the situation for the that's your research question. Are people coming from an autonomous region being a language minority within the country they live in more likely to leave the country because of no feeling of belonging, considering the circumstances? Other ways to increase affordability for locals. Okay, so Lucas, you're here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I am having very bad acid reflux. Okay, how concerning is the situation for the young generation? So we are talking about, that's the question. So the research problem is, what are you trying to solve? You are trying to solve the affordability and availability, no?
Yeah.
Affordability and availability of real estate in South
Tyrol.
In South Tyrol. Okay, so that's your research problem. You
Yeah.
want to address the affordability and availability of real estate in South Tyrol. Okay, so what would be your question?
How can we make space and how can we make it more affordable for
yeah,
the
because see, affordability and availability. So I
Yeah.
think how can we keep the affordability? Okay, how can we keep, you know, I am just thinking aloud here. You can change the wordings later. How can we keep the affordability of real estate in South Tyrol?
Or how can we recreate because it's not affordable?
It's not affordable. Yeah, yeah. How can we keep? It's not affordable. It's really expensive.
Yes.
Okay. So how can we keep? Okay. For the meantime, how can we keep? How can we keep? Do you think affordability is not a good word? You think?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think the keep is not right. I think it's how can we assure or how can we recreate
Recreate the what? The affordability. Or
Yes.
how can we maintain? How can we, or what can we do? What can be done to keep the cost of real estate? We can, Lucas, we cannot do away with the word affordable. What can be done to keep the cost of real estate affordable to young generation in South Tyrol? I will repeat. What can be done to keep the cost of real estate affordable to young generations in South Tyrol? See? So we are not saying what can we do, because when you say we, you are part of it, but you are not in control of the process. So you are saying what can be done? What can be done by the government? What can be done by whatever? Okay, and then that's your first question. So you said availability. So you address already, because your research problem is how can we keep the affordability and availability of real estate in South Tyrol to the younger generation? So you address the first question of affordability. Now we have the availability. So we can just putting these words together. What can be done to prioritize young young real estate buyers, what can be done to prioritize? What can be done to prioritize?
Or how can we like push the younger generation to even think about one day buying, because maybe this thought is already fading away.
What you're saying is that probably they don't want to buy in South Tyrol. Probably they want to invest their
Or
money.
maybe this thought is like, yeah, going away because you think that that you will never be able to afford. So like,
okay. Okay, so we have three series of questions. The first one is solved. You know, it's already done. The second one is, what can be done to prioritize the younger generation buyers, local buyers? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like, if you are a local and I am foreigner, even if we have the same amount of money, the government should prioritize the local over me because I'm a migrant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe like creating some incentives or something for locals, as there was, for example, in the last 2 years, there were some incentives in general in Italy to like renovate your house, and you get back even more than you like that you needed to needed the money to renovate. So this, like, maybe there is could be an incentive for younger generation.
Okay, so we what can be done to incentivize local buyers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just first, you know, because we don't have much time, at least work on those two questions and then go to the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one is, what can be done to keep the cost of real estate affordable to young generation in South Tyrol? And the second question is, what can be done to incentivize local buyers? And then from these two questions, create the next one.
Okay.
Making sense, Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Luigi, let's go to you. Increase sales in evolving world, how I can thrive in the market. Do I need to change strategy or change market? Luigi, where are you?
I'm here.
Okay, so do I need to change strategy or change market? Your business is existing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot change market. You can change strategy, but you cannot change the market. The market is already there.
Okay.
How can I thrive in the market? How sustainability influence our market? Do really affect the market, and maybe I should focus on people rather than the product itself. Are costs too high? Should I change supplier without losing quality or craftsmanship? Okay, so what is your problem? What problem are you trying to solve, Luigi?
Increasing sales.
Increasing sales. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very good. How to increase sales? How to increase sales? Okay, that's a very precise research problem. Okay, so there you go. Sorry, increasing sales is the research problem. So how do I what strategies do I need to change? I would highly concentrate on this, Luigi, because I think don't use the word change. Improve, because probably what you are doing now is good, but you need to do more. So you don't really need to change everything, because to change is really to change. You know what I mean, Luigi? So what can be done? What can be done? Or what is strategy? What I don't know how. What strategy can be implemented to improve? What strategy can be implemented to improve? To improve what? To improve sales. What strategy can be implemented to improve sales? That's one of your research questions. So when you do that, it's actually very rich. Why? Because when you say to improve, you actually have to discuss what you are doing now, because that would be the basis for the improvement. Because now we are not doing this. So because of the improvement, we will be doing this. Okay, so sustainability, no. What do you mean do really affect the market? Do what?
In the sense of is sustainability influencing our market?
Say
And
that again, sorry.
is sustainability influenced our market?
Okay.
And in somehow yes, but not completely.
Okay. In this, are costs too high compared to your competitor? Is your pricing very different from them?
No, is lower than the German competitor, but is higher than the Taiwan competitor.
Okay, I mean, you are an Italian brand, so you know you cannot compare. You cannot go very low with fighting with the prices coming from Taiwan. So I don't think eliminate this. Are costs too high? No, I think you
Okay.
are good. Okay, should I change supplier? No, that doesn't, without losing quality or craftsmanship. No. So
Yeah, it's quite impossible.
yeah, you know exactly that's not how it is done. So I think what can you do is, you know, Luigi, I think aside from the changing of marketing strategy, changing the marketing strategy, you should also question would be a closer analysis of your branding in the market. Because you have to understand, how are your clients looking at you? Are you known as the business for high quality and craftsmanship? Are you known for a business like, well, if it's a temporary solution, Luigi, it's not a long-term solution. So you have to analyze what is actually your branding in the market. So branding meaning you will do an interview, which is actually, you know, this is a great idea. You interview your clients and you ask them, why are you with us? Why are you buying from us? So if they say, well, because you are very reliable. And then when you ask that, when you get that information, that will be part of the changes of the improvement of your marketing strategy. So the question is, what is our current brand in the market? So once you have this question, you know exactly how you are perceived. For example, for Swiss School of Management, if we are perceived as, you know, the professors there, you know, they are not really teaching. You just talk to them and you don't submit the assignment. You just tell them, this is this, you will pass. So that's our branding in the market, which is not actually good. But if they will say, well, you have to attend classes because the professors, they are this and they are very straight and they have all this academic whatever. So I know exactly what is my branding in the market. Once I know that I have a weak branding, meaning I am a weak brand, that's the time I will include what are the changes to strengthen my brand in the market. You get what I mean, Luigi?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, your research question, because your research problem is, I want to increase sales. So your research problem is, what marketing strategy can be implemented to improve sales, and what are our current branding in the market? See, those two questions, you're done.
So the one is what the marketing campaigns could be implemented. What marketing campaigns could be implemented?
Yeah, because your sales is dependent on your marketing campaign.
Okay.
You know, so if your marketing campaign is good, well, first, it it will give you more presence in the market because you will be known. If you are doing your, so if you are known, there is a high chance for you to increase sales because people will buy from you. Okay, so as part of the marketing campaign, you have to understand, but what is my standing in the market? Am I number 2, number 3? How are my clients perceiving me? Am I weak? Am I strong? Am I reliable? I am just a supplement. I am not a priority. So these things would help you answer your research problem, which is how to increase sales.
Okay, so the second one is a closer analysis to branding perception, something like that. Okay.
Yes. It's how are you? How is our brand perceived by our market? So that's an excellent research question. Actually, put that first, and then the second one is what marketing strategy?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So everything is clear. So I think Luigi, you are the last one. I was hoping that I would have Giacomo, Davide, Sergio,
I think you have to refresh the page.
I have to refresh the page. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Refresh the page. Okay, Davide. Okay. Let's go with Giacomo first.
Yep.
The future of refrigeration equipment with natural gases. Good.
I'm stayed with the pyramids topic. So
Yes.
I put the general topic of refrigeration equipment today, and the general idea is that I want to go inside the problem that I want to have question. So the topic is inside the problem of a 40 years old technology equipment. The technology used until now in Europe is very obsolete and have a lack of efficiency in terms of pollution and energy usage, but also in raw material and elaboration of the item. So I made specific question on what are the problem related on refrigeration equipment today. I lost one piece, and why most of people are scared of using new technologies, and what are the new way to innovate refrigeration.
But I cannot say anything else because this is very clear.
Thank you.
So you have the future of refrigeration equipment with the natural gases. You have identified your research problem. You have identified your 3 specific question. What are the problems related to all refrigeration? Okay, so that's a description. And then you will go into why people are scared of using new technologies.
Exactly.
In refrigeration, just to
exactly.
be
Yeah, all related
just to be very clear. And then what are the new ways to innovate refrigeration? Okay, that's good. Good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, Davide, is the supply chain of electronic vehicle battery sustainable? What is ICE, Davide?
It is an acronym for internal combustion engine.
Okay. Are internal combustion engine cars more sustainable? Okay. Considering the long-term effect of usage of the... Okay. So the problem that you wanted to solve is to determine if electric vehicles are actually sustainable, no?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So that's a critique. Okay. I think you have to prioritize your question number 2. Are internal combustion engine cars more sustainable than EVs? But this is comparative analysis.
Yes, I thought that it would be useful also to compare them to the biggest market share that is already existing. Like EVs are actually the innovation, not the internal combustion engines.
Okay. Considering the long-term effect and usage of electric vehicles, are their batteries for really recyclable? So, Davide, you are really concentrated on the engines, no?
Yes, and that's because of my business, of course.
Okay.
because the
Okay.
electric vehicles are a threat.
Okay. Considering the long-term effect. I think you have to prioritize question number 3, Davide, and then you have to rephrase this into in the long run, are the batteries of electric vehicles fully recyclable?
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first one because you are concentrated on the engine. And then you go for the second one. Is the supply chain of EVs battery sustainable?
Yes, I didn't actually put these questions in order of importance, but of course they can be rearranged.
Yes. So your question of because in questions it needs to follow a certain order where you go from general to specific. So my suggestion is the first one will be number 3, and then you say considering the long-term effect, you say in the long run are batteries fully recyclable, and then you follow it up with is the supply chain of electric vehicle battery sustainable? And then I am having second thoughts about the more sustainable than, because it's a leading question. It's a leading question. I think I can help you put this in your submission on the 22nd, and then I will think about it because probably it can be there, but it needs to be rephrased into something that is not comparative.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. So that's the class for today. I will be expecting your submission on the 22nd. I am really looking forward to it because we have discussed so much about it. Then we don't have a class on Thursday, and we will have a class on the next Thursday, which is the 30th of November. Question, Sergio. Topic is okay. Okay, Sergio. Sergio, let me work on your submission. Thank you for submitting this in the chat. Let me work with you on your research on your business plan paper on your submission on the 22nd, and then I'll give you all the feedback that needs to be given to you. So thank you very much, everyone, for today's class.
Thank you, Elise.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope you learned something today. And then I'll see you on next Thursday. Next Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye bye.
See you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Elise.
Bye. Thank you.